Welcome to the first edition for this year of the LL Spring Sports Roundtable, brought to you by Substitute Teacher Service from the big broadcast center, 101 North Queen Street in Lancaster. We're going to preview the spring sports season, and my name is Mike Gross. I'll be hosting these proceedings and telling you a little bit about the spring sports that I cover and such. Seated to my left is Dave Byrne, a new panelist.
There he is.
A new old panelist, maybe. He's the softball writer. We're going to talk about softball with Dave. Seated to my right, of course, you know him. He's Rhines, Jeff Reinhart, covering. Tell us, Rhines.
Boys volleyball back in the gym.
Yeah.
Wow, we're not going to a basketball game tonight. What's going on?
Strangely enough, that reminds me very quickly. Lancaster Mennonites, state champions. Congratulations in hoops.
Well done.
That was fun. A lot of fun to watch.
Yes.
Anyway, all right. Let's go to our guest.
Yes.
He's not our guest. He's our semi-panelist. Dave Byrne, give us a little preview of a sport that the LL has traditionally been very good at, softball.
Yeah.
What do we got?
It's another softball season. Let's start off with the players to watch this year. I've got 12 of them, if you bear with me. Julie Bowmaster, a sophomore pitcher from Penn Manor. She was 19-2 last year with a 1.47 ERA. A lot of that was helped by the fact that she was the front end of a 1-2 punch with Emily Riggs'
That's
explosion.
right, yeah.
So this year...
And a great offense.
Yeah, this year she's going to do it without Emily Riggs. We'll see how that works. Taylor Kittleman, infielder from Penn Manor or from Manheim Township. She missed most of last year with an injury.
Right.
She came back for the last 9 games of the year, and Township went on a run.
They did.
That carried them to
States.
the district championship and into states. Bella Smithson, a catcher from Warwick. She's a hot bat. She hits a lot of hits. She had 26 hits last year and drove in 23. Good middle of the order batter. Rhiannon Henry from CV.
Oh, yeah.
CV, she had a little trouble wins and losses, but the girl can get the punch out. She had 188 batters struck out in 119 innings. Ellie Meyer from Ephrata, one of 3 juniors from Ephrata that are going to lead the Mounts this year. She's a good, hard-throwing pitcher. She struck out 116 batters in 104 innings. Her teammate, Allie Williams, is a middle infielder, good stick. And her teammate, Maddie Russell, outfielder, she had 5 home runs in the first half of the year. She was a tough stick. Moving over to Allie Robb in Lampeter Strasburg, she's made the journey from the outfield as a freshman and a sophomore to second base last year, and this year she takes over in the circle as the Pioneers pitcher, replacing Kiva Middleton, who's graduated and taken her game to Lock Haven. Kara Scranton came on last year as the first baseman. Good bat, 473 for the Pioneers, knocked in 23 runs. And Brooke Zuber,
she's back.
Who's back. She was a left fielder as a sophomore, catcher last year as a junior, and she's in right fielder this year.
Interesting.
She hit 474 last year. She's going to Towson State to play softball.
Wow.
Nice.
Bella Magnuson from Donegal. Wow. You talk about a stick. This girl can hit. She already is Donegal's career leader in homers with 15 home runs. She's got a slugging percentage, of 1.262.
Wow.
And she hit,
That's pretty good.
and she's got 98 RBIs for her career, which is 4th on the Donegal
And what class
list.
is she? She's a senior.
She's a junior.
Junior.
She did that in 2 years?
She did
All
that
of that?
in 2 years.
No way. We got to do some kind of investigation on that. Something's going wrong.
I trust Donegal stats. Wayne, I trust Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
Those are.
And then Elko's pitcher, Gabby Smith, as a freshman last year, she struck out 211 batters. That's a scoring record.
Wow.
In 107 innings.
Oh my gosh.
She gets any kind of a team.
Both of those
around her.
numbers are insane.
She gets any kind of a team around her. Elko's going to be tough. Elko's
She's going to
be a
strike
factor
everybody
in
out.
Section 3.
Holy moly.
Now, what's new? What's new in softball? Well,
Yes.
there's new coaches. 5 new coaches. Paige Roel from Cocalico has moved up from the JV head coach to be the varsity head coach this year. Chris Landis, who was a co-coach the second half of last year at Hempfield.
Oh yeah.
After a little bit of the drama there with the
It's got
coach
a
quitting.
little bit. When I heard you say co-coach, I'm thinking drama right away. Yeah, okay.
So Chris takes over as the head guy this year. Emily Detz. Do we all remember Emily Detz pitching for Columbia?
Oh, yeah, I know
Well,
that name.
she is the new coach at Catholic High.
Wow.
She
Really?
is Charlie Detz's niece.
There you go.
That's the first thing I thought of when I heard that name.
Yeah. And Carrie Long, we know Carrie Long from a long time coach at Lebanon Catholic.
Yep.
Hard to taste success at Lebanon Catholic, but
Yeah.
he's at Warwick now, and they've given him the keys to the Maserati. He is a happy guy.
I bet. I bet. I saw the story.
That's a little bit of a climb, of a step.
Find the story on him on LancasterOnline. That was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That was good.
New schedule format. No more crossovers.
Yay.
In softball or baseball, for that matter, not to steal Mike's thunder. The teams will play each other now 3 times in section play, and that could make for either some very tight section races or some very huge blowouts. Time will tell.
Yeah.
And realignment. It's the new year of the
cycle.
realignment cycle. And the realignment finds Northern Lebanon moving down to Section 4. Not a good move for Section 4 or for Northern Lebanon.
Because
The Vikings were 16-0 as the Section 3 champion last year.
Wow.
And they're going to roll over Section 4.
yeah,
Oh, boy.
But with the small schools, they're not going to get a whole lot of points
That's
for
right.
the power rating.
That's right. Yeah,
they're going to struggle. So my picks.
lay it on me, big guy.
Lay it on. Section 1, Penn Manor. Head and shoulders above everybody else this year. They only lost 6 players from 2021, and they won the section, district, and LL League titles. So with 7 players back, what do you think they'll do this year?
With an experienced pitcher.
With an experienced
Yeah.
pitcher.
Yeah.
Warwick, Manheim Township, and Hempfield will battle for that second playoff position. Section 2 looks to be fun. It's going to be a jumble. LS, Solanco, Ephrata, E-Town, all of them slugging it out for two berths in the tournament. Section 3, with Northern Lebanon gone, it's Donegal's chance to return to the top, where they've been for a long time, with Manheim Central challenging, and Elko, I think, will be right in that mix.
If she strikes out 300 this year,
Especially-
yeah, she's got a good chance.
And in Section 4, Northern Lebanon, hands down. I mean, there's nobody going to touch them in Section 4. Anvil and Peckway will probably battle it out for that second playoff berth.
Interesting.
There's your softball. Very comprehensive, Dave. Thank you, sir. Brian?
Good stuff. All right, where do you want to go? Boys volleyball?
Boys volleyball, my friend.
Okay. I was in the gym Tuesday night, saw Hempfield beat Penn Manor. Let's mention this one off the top. Welcome back, Chris Telesco. You remember him. Coached Penn Manor for 17 years, went to a state final, won all kinds of section titles, district titles, LL titles. He retired, stepped away a couple of years ago. Well, he came back out of retirement this year. They had a new coach and something happened and he had to
People
go.
wave their
wave
arms and
people in
gesture.
and out. And he's still there. He teaches in the district and he's been around the program. So he said, all right, I'll come back. But he's only coming back for 1 season. And he's going to dip back into retirement. Maybe he'll come back later on down the road. He's still a young man. So welcome back, Chris Telesco. He's one of 5 new coaches in the LL. So a lot of new looks there with new coaches on benches. Quick recap, real quick. Warwick and Hempfield shared the Section 1 title last year. Mennonite won the Section 2 title last year, their first section championship since 2012, and then the whole team graduated. All of them. Coach Martin's whole lineup graduated. They were senior laden last year, so kind of a new look for the Blazers this time around. Warwick beat Hempfield in the LL championship. Warwick's first LL crown. Hempfield just seemingly wins that every year. I think there are 20 plus titles or something crazy. But Warwick beat Hempfield. So that's the rivalry now. That's the juicy rivalry in the league. Warwick, Hempfield, and they play for the first time in the section next Thursday in Lidditz. They already played once this year in the Hempfield Vogel Joust tournament last weekend in the season opening tournament. And Warwick beat Hempfield in the championship game.
Joust.
It was the joust, yes. 1 All-State player returns, and that's a Warwick kid, Kyle Charles. Can't miss him. Stretch.
Good size.
7'3". Freshman year, well, he's not 7'3". Freshman year, he was a setter because he had so many hitters around him. Last year, they moved him to outside, opposite hitter, and he just ripped things up. So Kyle Charles is back, lone All-State player back. Season opening tournaments of note, as mentioned, Warwick beat Hempfield in the Vogel Joust. Conestoga Valley beat Penn Manor in CV's tournament. Cocalico gets to the finals of its tournament, loses to Upper Dublin, but the Eagles got to the finals. Mannheim Central, Barons are going to be really good. They went further than anybody last year. They went to the state quarterfinals in 2A. They went out to Pittsburgh, played in the North Allegheny season tip-off last week, and got a co-championship. They were supposed to play NA in the finals. There was a power outage in the neighborhood. The lights went out. They wouldn't come back on. So NA and Mannheim Central were crowned co-champions.
Go out in the parking lot.
Yeah, I guess. I can't make this stuff
They
up.
say they play lights out volleyball.
Can't make this stuff up. And again, watch out for Mannheim Central. They're going to be really good. Telesco back, one of new 5 coaches, and he helped Penn Manor get off to a really good start. They got to the finals of the CV tournament, and then last week they beat Central Dauphin in a non-league match. CD last year was the District 3 champ. They rolled deep state run. They were ranked 10th in the state coming into this season, and Penn Manor beat them. So, welcome back, Chris Telesco, and a good start for the Comets. Volleyball, we're serving and volleying. Here we go. Tuesdays and Thursdays on your calendars moving forward.
Boom.
All right, let's talk some baseball.
Hardball.
I'm going to go section by section. We've just gotten started. Some teams have actually not even played any games yet, so not much to tell. But I'm going to start with section 1. Penn Manor off to a 2-0 start. Run differential 21-2.
Wow.
That's not bad. That's not bad. And they have a couple of pitchers. His name Grant Fry, Daniel Santana, and maybe I don't think that the power structure in section 1 is what it's been. Warwick and Township have been pretty dominant. Warwick is 0-2. Defending state champion,
That's right.
folks,
That's right.
is 0-2. But I think Hempfield maybe is ready to get back up. I think that's what most of the coaches seem to think. They have a loss too. They lost to Governor Mifflin 3-2, and Governor Mifflin is supposed to be one of the best teams in District 3. So that's not a bad. They're 1-1, and a couple of guys to watch for Hempfield. Steve Koch, who is a pitcher, multi-position guy, and they have a real good catcher, which I always like.
Love the catchers.
Yeah, Josh Toole, T-O-O-L-E of the Black Knights. Section 2, Ephrata has been very good so far, much as they were at the end of the year last year with a very young team. They went to the league final, and they won a game in states. They went to the district final.
Nice.
And they look like they're going to be. They look like they're going to be good again. They beat Warwick the other night. They're off to a 2-0 start. Another team that has been really good in Section 2 is Elizabethtown so
Bears.
far. One blowout win and then a good dramatic win against Mechanicsburg. Braden Cummings, Caden Kimball, pitchers, multi-position guys for them. Section 3, it looks like Central and Donegal, who were very, very good last year, are going to be very, very good again. Central's first game last night, they beat Muhlenberg, which again is another team that is expected to be one of the better teams in District 3. They beat them last night. A couple of doubles for Kai Watson, who's Matt Watson's son. You may remember him from actually Major League Baseball at one point. Nolan Book, the shortstop, is back. Remember him? He had 2 hits. And remember all those no-hitters that the Barons threw last year?
Oh, yeah.
Well, one of the chief architects of that, Jared Murray, started last night's game, pitched 4 innings, and guess how many hits he gave up?
0.
0 is correct.
There you go.
So there you go. And again, Donegal state semifinals last year, quietly. And they've got a couple of Coy Allman, who is a sophomore, very highly regarded catching prospect. He was a very good, and a pitcher, Jaden Fabian, a deep pitching staff with Donegal. And again, as Dave mentioned with softball, these teams are going to play 3 times.
That's interesting.
And they play next week at Mount Joy, Central and Donegal. It looks like in Section 4, Lancaster Catholic, 23 wins last year, state finals, district championship. They still got to be the favorite. They return a kid named Nathan Wingenroth, who's going to Elon College to play baseball. He's a center fielder, leadoff type guy, and a pitcher, Noah Zimmerman, the guy who kind of carried them down the stretch last year, is going to Georgia Southern.
Wow.
But they're 0-1. They lost to Trinity, which is one of the better AA teams, one of their sort of rivals in districts. And the other team, maybe in Section 4, is Peckway Valley, with a kid named, they have a pitcher, kind of an anchor guy named Peyton Temple. So
He's the quarterback. He's the quarterback on the football team.
That's
there you
right.
go.
Yeah. And there you go. So, I don't think baseball can match last year because it was amazing what we accomplished.
Seriously.
It really was. I don't think they can match that, but it looks like a lot of good teams in our league. This sport is a real strength of our league.
Nice. Track.
Another strength of our league.
Yeah.
Real strength at a national level.
Yes.
Tell us, Ryan.
Track and field. Wow. I hope you saw Jason Garente's story this week. Front page of the paper, Lancaster Online. Make sure you look it up. McCaskey girls 1600 relay team. What a start for them. Kamaya Wright, Camilla Wright, twins. Isabella Schertzer, Lucy DeSion, who's a really good
Soccer player.
Those four went to the New Balance National Indoor Finals in Boston. In the 1600 relay, they ran a 3:49.98. That's an LL record, and that's 6th best in the country. Wow.
That's fast.
Great start for McCaskey. And those four kids' names are all over the returning top finishers from last year's list. Hope to be joined by Jason soon.
There you go.
He'll be stepping in for John. One other track note, Maddie Nyer, Manheim Central.
Ivy League.
I've been waiting. We've all been waiting. Where's Maddie Nyer going? I thought she's going to go play basketball somewhere. She picked track and field. Good for her. And she's going to Penn in the Ivy Leagues, Franklin Field, the whole spiel.
That'll be cool.
Javelin thrower, long jumper, triple jumper. And she'll be right at the top of the league in those three categories all spring. Keep an eye on that. Maddie Nyer going Ivies to Penn. Cool. Tennis, anyone?
Couple notes on tennis. Yeah, tennis, anyone indeed. The big story is Lancaster Country Day, which was Lancaster led in the league and District 3 team champions. Went all the way to the state final.
That's right.
In the team and lost 3-2 to Masterman from Philadelphia. And they have two guys back. Forgive me if I'm butchering these names, folks. Niall Abadir.
Niall, yep.
And Freddie Brown, who are among the best, even though their teammates are among the best players in the league, in the district, and maybe even statewide. Now, they added a guy who transferred in, a guy named Michael Georgilis, who transferred in from Township, who reached the, last year as a freshman, reached the championship match of the leagues.
Wow.
In 3A.
Wow.
So that looks like a pretty powerhouse team there at Country Day.
Formidable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Among the big schools, the deepest team might be Cedar Crest. Went 17-4 last year. New coach, Mike Rohrbach out, Phil Rader in, and they have 6 of their top 7 back from a team that did really well last year, and lost in the state team competition to eventual champion Lower Merion.
How about that?
So, and the other guy we want to mention here in tennis is Cooper Lehman.
Cooper
Lehman, who is the LL3A champ, the District 3 3A champ, and he is a sophomore.
Sophomore.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. So it's not unusual to have good young players in tennis.
Not at all.
But we have some of them, and they're worth watching. And other teams, I mean, people even there's some belief that McCaskey is going to be pretty good in tennis, and Pequay Valley was good last year. Township again. So it seems like. My sense of, and I'm stealing all of this from Phil Gladfield, of course, but my sense is that maybe it's team-wise, it's a little deeper than usual.
Sounds like
and then we have some kids who are going to have a chance to play individually.
Abadir.
Deep into the postseason.
Yeah, Abadir should be playing for a while.
I would think.
All right, gang. I think we covered everything, if not more than everything. This has been the LL Spring Sports Roundtable, brought to you by Substitute Teacher Service. My name is Mike Gross. His name is Dave Byrne. His name is Jeff Reinhart. See ya.